Tonight, police prepare to crack down on dangerous driving this long weekend and confusion around roadworks near a Broken Hill business.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening, everyone. As South Australians gear up to get away for the long weekend, authorities are pleading with drivers to travel with care. Police will be out in force targeting the Fatal Five as part of a month-long blitz to keep drivers safe.
For the month of October, police will be honing in on the Fatal Five: speeding, drink and drug driving, seatbelts, distraction and dangerous driving.
So far this year in South Australia, we've recorded 67 road deaths in South Australia, and over 60% of those have occurred on our country roads.
Police reiterating warnings to drivers to take care on our regional roads, particularly over the long weekend with more people out and about. A simple message which could just save a life.
We're asking motorists obviously to drive to the conditions, observe all the speed limits, be particularly mindful when you're driving through regional towns and look out for those lower speed limits that will apply through these areas.
Previous October long weekends have ended in tragedy with 5 deaths in rural areas.
We're working towards 0 fatalities and 0 serious injuries. That's the goal, and that's only going to come as a result of road users slowing down and paying attention to the road rules.
Also, authorities urging people who are heading away to ensure cars and homes are properly secured to prevent break-ins at unoccupied premises and vehicles. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Tasmania's Premier has this afternoon announced the state will be opening its borders to South Australia. October the 26th is the date set for the opening, with hopes for a direct flight from Adelaide to Tasmania. Today's move follows on from previous plans of a travel bubble, which was cancelled due to ongoing concerns around COVID-19 transmission between states. COVID testing numbers in the far west of New South Wales have continued to fall as restrictions ease across the state. Around 250 tests are being conducted in the region each week, compared with about 500 2 months ago. Health officials say there are a number of reasons for the drop-off, including complacency among residents and the warmer weather.
We attribute the low numbers again to the weather warming up. Perhaps there isn't the symptomology that you often would have with flu.
A person showing any symptoms of COVID-19 is still urged to get tested immediately. A Broken Hill business owner says she feels like she's painted a target on her back by speaking out against the local council. The statement comes after she raised concerns around public consultation for roadworks, which the council says they completed.
After 2 months, Gypsum Street has finally reopened, and for Taylor Cuff, it's a welcome relief. In August, she had to move her local pet store due to major roadworks in front of her business.
This whole intersection of the street was blocked off for a 2-block radius nearly, but yet it was our choice to shut the doors or move.
With the project completed, Taylor has raised concerns about future roadworks and their potential effect on businesses. Taylor claiming City Council did not consult with the community of the Gypsum Street roadworks to the degree claimed by the General Manager at the recent monthly meeting.
The report was good, and the reports I get back from the staff were that the feedback from the residents and the businesses that they spoke to, other than Ms. Cuff, was very positive.
Mr. Ronkin saying a public forum was held, but no one attended. However, Taylor has rejected the GM's claims, posting a video online of herself speaking with residents.
Did council come knock on your door to talk to you about the roadworks at all?
No.
Did you get a letterbox drop?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Tom Kennedy's call for a report about the extent of the public consultation was knocked back.
You'd hope that both the Mayor and the General Manager take this on board and change the way they conduct themselves.
Council declined to comment. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. Still to come tonight, nominations open for the Australia Day Awards, recognising our community's most selfless. And artists in Port Pirie collaborate to showcase at local businesses. Welcome back. Whyalla City Council is encouraging locals to nominate for next year's Local Australia Day Awards. This year's winner, Jeremy Edwards, says receiving the Community Service Award was one of the proudest moments of his life.
This year's Australia Day was one of Whyalla's biggest pre-coronavirus events, going off with a bang.
Happy Australia Day! Happy Australia Day! Happy Australia Day!
There was a multitude of food stalls, from donuts to hot dogs, flying kites and even a messy ice cream eating competition. And while there's a change of venue for next year, a yearly tradition lives on.
Australia Day nominations are open again for this year. They'll close mid-November.
Whyalla City Council asking locals to nominate those they believe worthy.
It's really important, especially in this year of 2020, with all that we've been through as a community, to recognise those that have worked so hard.
For Jeremy Edwards, winning a Community Service Award was a special surprise.
I had someone from the council come around to my house and drop a letter off and say that I'd won an award, which was very humbling.
Working as the co-founder of INAT, a men's mental health and suicide prevention group called I'm Not Afraid to Talk, Jeremy encourages others to support locals by nominating them.
You don't do what you do for recognition, but it was very humbling to be recognised and to even be nominated. It highlights that you've had an impact on someone's life.
And there are plenty of categories to choose from. There's actually 11.
More information on how to nominate is listed on Council's website, recognising the selfless and tireless workers in our community. Sophia Contigonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Pirie Council's Tourism and Events Manager, Glenn Christie, has been selected as one of 14 representatives across Australia to provide a voice for regional tourism. Glenn says he's honoured to take on the role as Ambassador for Australian Tourism and is keen to represent the York Mid-North region on the national stage.
It's a really exciting opportunity and incredible recognition for someone who's only been in the job just under 4 years to be recognised as a regional ambassador. Talking about local government and visitor servicing, I'm obviously doing something right.
The 12-month role will include a monthly blog on Arts Online Hub. A South Australian traffic company has partnered with an Indigenous corporation to provide a number of jobs on the Joybaluk Bridge duplication. Approximately 25 jobs will be up for grabs, with more than a dozen people taking part in a 2-week training program.
For Devon, the contract for a position as a traffic management officer means the world. He recently, along with 12 others, travelled to Adelaide for job training and hopes many others follow in his footsteps.
Growing up here in this town, there wasn't a lot for Aboriginal people, but as soon as this came up, well, I sort of jumped on, sort of try to be a role model for the younger people.
Prime Traffic Solutions and the Deary Aboriginal Corporation have recently formed a new alliance. The initiative is expected to have a positive effect on the workers taking part.
Pride, financial stability as well, so taking ownership on the pride of the fact that they've been part of building the new bridge in Port Augusta.
The partnership is said to create different jobs for the duration of the 2-year project.
We can offer traffic management positions as well as future opportunities for project management and other job opportunities in the future.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Members of Port Pirie's Bridge to Nowhere art group have been busily preparing their latest pieces to showcase at businesses around the town. The new venture comes as members work to collaborate art, crafts and music all together.
A smorgasbord of artists collaborating under the same roof.
A mixed media of different sort of arts and crafts, and today it was for demonstration of a few artists getting together so that we could expand on our craft.
A local ukulele group also joining in on the fun. The Comfort Inn Flinders on Main recently decked out with art. The colourful addition thanks to a new partnership between the Bridge to Nowhere group.
Here they get an opportunity to project themselves into the commercial world, and this is for their children and their children's children to know that artists are valued.
This group running for 12 months and thrilled to practice alongside local artists.
I've been personally playing ukulele now for about 8-9 years,
and I am actually learning heaps from this group because we're bouncing off of each other.
Crafts have also been thrown into the mix.
We've also got a glass cabinet with three-dimensional items in it that people are making, so all sorts of art.
Residents are encouraged to come see what all the fuss is about.
They get the opportunity to see artists, and hopefully that encourages them, A, to do lessons, B, to get involved.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us. Coming up after the break, a reminder around the importance of a simple health check which could save a life, and preparations underway for a Corvette car show to be held in Whyalla this weekend. Hello again. Members of Whyalla Men's Shed Group are urging more locals to join following a national week of awareness for the organisation. Members today setting up at the Westland Shopping Centre, promoting the different work they do for the community.
At the Whyalla Men's Shed, we do look after computers, we teach people how to use them, we do a bit of woodwork, a bit of metalwork, do some gardening, have a chat.
The organisation is a big advocate for men's mental health, offering a social group for those who need someone to turn to. The streets of Port Pirie will soon be decorated with splashes of pink in a bid to raise awareness around breast cancer. A local nurse is urging people to get checked following a major drop nationwide.
Port Pirie will soon be looking pretty in pink. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this local nurse is wasting no time.
Pink Up Port Pirie is all about a visual support and solidarity for people who've experienced breast cancer. And it's also a fundraiser for the McGrath Foundation, who raise money to train and employ breast care nurses.
Some fundraising events have hit the chopping block this year due to COVID-19 restrictions. Residents are still being encouraged to donate to the cause and pink up their streets.
A lot of the fundraising activities have been cancelled, so therefore the funds that are normally coming in from those activities aren't available.
McGrath Foundation statistics reveal a 37% decline in imaging scans over the past few months, raising concerns.
It's a bit concerning, and it is very important for women to check their breasts regularly.
Now residents are being encouraged to don the pink and back this important cause more now than ever.
We will be decorating up Florence Street, and we will be having a stall at the market.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Groundworks for the Port Augusta Bird Lake project have been completed after starting in May this year. The $3.2 million work saw soil placed around the perimeter of the lake in an attempt to stop the odour and insects. Over the coming year, local native plants are expected to grow at the site. Whyalla petrol heads are gearing up for this weekend, with several Corvettes making their way down to the Still City. The special cars will be featured tomorrow at a pop-up display event.
Wax, polish and ready to shine. These 3 rare Corvette cars will be on display tomorrow for petrol heads to enjoy.
With the Corvette Club of South Australia, they tend to have weekends away, long weekends away. It's a social event.
And with Whyalla, the destination for this year's event, Corvette lovers will be able to see the cars in real life.
So roughly 15 to 18 odd Corvettes will be travelling up from Adelaide to Whyalla.
The club, which started in 1977, now consists of around 265 members and more than 110 Corvettes, some of which are from Whyalla.
But the beauty of the club is it's social. They just love to party.
And party they will, with the club enjoying what the Still City has to offer, including Whyalla's well-known ship tour, the Corvette ship sharing similarities with the Corvette cars.
Because it was agile, manoeuvrability and speed, it was given the name Corvette, simulated with a car.
Having 20 or so of them here tomorrow is going to be really exciting. So the view from outside looking back to the ship with the other Corvettes around will just be phenomenal.
And for all those car connoisseurs, you might be able to get your photo with or behind the wheel of your favourite car.
Just a small gold coin donation which all goes to our charity. Now currently our charity of choice is Heart Kids.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A former Broken Hill footballer has extended his stay with the Greater Western Sydney AFL team. Isaac Cumming re-signed with the Giants this week, adding another 2 years onto his contract. The 22-year-old was sidelined for most of the 2020 season, but played in the last round against St Kilda, racking up 16 disposals. Isaac is likely to find a permanent spot on the GWS half-back line. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we'll have a special edition of this week's Fuel Watch, and John Hunt will be joining us with the weekend weather outlook. Welcome back. Time now to see how things are shaping up when we head to the Petrol Bowser. Here's Patrick Reinke in Broken Hill with a special Friday edition of Fuel Watch.
It's been 2 weeks since we last checked out the regional petrol prices. Let's see how things are going. Starting with unleaded, and when we left the action in mid-September, Port Lincoln was on 118, the average now up to 121. That's the first of many increases we've seen in the past 2 weeks. Whyalla was the worst performer in the Spencer Gulf, jumping from 117 back up to 123. Port Augusta avoiding any major change, still hovering at 119. Port Pirie is the only township to see a reduction, but it's only small. Kadina no longer the cheapest in the Gulf, going up by 3 cents a litre. Broken Hill has managed to break even, Silver City motorists still forking out around 124 at the pump. Adelaide was revelling in super low prices last time we looked, the SA capital back paying in the high 120s. Turning over to diesel now, and it's a better sight, a bit of green on the board. Unfortunately, many of the declines are minor. Port Lincoln has seen no movement at all in the past 2 weeks, still on 116. Port Pirie, the cheapest spot in our regions, at 115. Both Kadina and Whyalla are 2 cents more than that, while Port Augusta is even higher. But that all pales in contrast to Broken Hill, we're paying a good 10 cents more a litre than majority of the Spencer Gulf cities. Finishing off with a quick look at autogas, and hardly any movement to speak of. Port Lincoln is the only place to see an upward tick, the price up to about 93 cents a litre. Whyalla is paying $1, Port Augusta and Kadina are on 89, Broken Hill 83 and Port Pirie on an even 80. Adelaide doing extremely well, only paying just 69 cents a litre. Now remember that these prices are the regional averages and they do not reflect any one particular outlet. And if you do find a spot that does sell unleaded, autogas or diesel for cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
And for a look at what's happening in the weather, here's John Hunt.
Thanks, Louise, and good evening, everyone. It was a sunny day throughout the region with warm to very warm temperatures. Port Augusta reached 34 degrees, 33 in Port Lincoln, and CORVETTE had a top of 35 degrees. Broken Hill 30, Port Augusta and Whyalla 34 degrees, 33 for Port Pirie and Kadina. Adelaide was slightly cooler with 30 degrees. The satellite shows patchy cloud over inland parts of the southeast with a weak trough. Mostly clear skies remain over the rest of the state under a broad region of high pressure. Looking at tomorrow's weather now and on the waters, northerly winds 20 to 25 knots, seas 1 to 2 metres. Mainly fine tomorrow with some scattered showers in the southeast, rain in 21 for Port Lincoln, Cleve windy with showers in 33 degrees, similar conditions in Woodner, showers and 33. Windy conditions in 34 in Whyalla, mostly fine and hot in Port Augusta, 37 the maximum. Kadina mostly sunny and 28. Partly cloudy conditions in 34 in Port Pirie. Clare should be windy with a top of 30 degrees. And Broken Hill a fine sunny day and a max of 35. Looking ahead now, and rain and cooler temperatures are expected throughout Sunday. 18 degrees for Whyalla and Woodner. Port Augusta a little warmer, reaching 19. Broken Hill will remain very warm with a top of 35. 20 for Port Pirie and 18 for Kadina. Conditions will fine up again on Monday, but temperatures will stay cool. Broken Hill a max of 15 degrees, 19 degrees in Port Augusta. Woodner and Whyalla both 18. Port Lincoln 15, 17 for Kadina, 18 in Adelaide, and Port Pirie 19 degrees. A similar outlook for Tuesday, mostly fine and mild. Whyalla a top of 19 degrees, reaching 20 in Kadina. Woodner a max of 19. Port Pirie 20 degrees. Port Augusta a max of 21. And Broken Hill will have a high of 16. So that's all in weather, but before we go, it's a sad night here as we bid farewell to Louise. Working with her has been an absolute pleasure. Her passion for news has made this a better product. Most of all, however, she is one of the great people you could ever meet. Louise is moving on to bigger and better things, so while we'll miss her, she goes with our best wishes. But before you go, we've got a few gifts for you.
Oh, John, that's just so special and so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well done, partner.
That wraps up your local news for this Friday evening, and as you've heard, that's all from me. I'm stepping away from this desk as your newsreader. I'm moving on to another role with Channel 7 Tasmania. I really loved my time working with 7 Spencer Golf Nightly News and every day with the incredible journalists who tirelessly work every day to bring you the latest news from around the region. So from me, it's good night. Have a lovely weekend.